Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tania, and if you're new to my channel, you know what to do. Like and subscribe, I love you for it. And if you're not so new to my channel, thank you so much for your support. Today's video is a tag video. I was tagged recently by Chris from Meet Penelope to do Flow in the Cities tag, which is my most unusual bags in my collection. Initially I thought, oh my gosh, I don't think I have any unusual bags, but the ones I've chosen to share with you actually have a few little quirks to them, which I think make them somewhat unusual. So if you're interested in that, stick around. First bag I'll share with you is this one here. This is my Giada bag, and the company or the brand is Giada di Pelle, and it's a beautiful bag, a beautiful turquoise teal color, and it has the beautiful gold hardware. Now this hardware, unfortunately, is plastic, and that's one of the reasons why I tend not to use it so much anymore, because it's plasticky, the ends, but the leather is leather, and it has this ostrich skin effect. And did you know, I only just recently learned this, that the reason ostrich skin looks like this is because when they pluck the feathers from the ostriches, it pulls forward, you know, that little section that the feather was attached to, and that's what gives it that bubbly look. So this is a mock ostrich leather bag, because of course if this was real ostrich leather, I wouldn't be holding it, because as you know, ostrich leather is extremely expensive. But anyway, this is one of my more unusual bags, and this sort of, oopsie, this tends to have a little bit of a doctor bag look to it, you know, like an old-fashioned doctor bag, a little bit like Lisa's doctor bag, but hers at least is Louis Vuitton. And it's an interesting bag. I love it for the color. I have considered selling it, but at the same time I don't want to. My daughter's sitting over there at the moment shaking her head at me, so I'm not allowed to sell it. She likes this bag. So the inside of the bag looks like that. It's got two significant side compartments. It's got the one zipper in the middle, and it's got a zipper and, is it? Yep, a zippered pocket here on the side, and the plaque here says Giada Pelle, made in Italy. So don't discount those more quiet, understated brands, because they make exquisite quality things. And this also is from Italy, and this was purchased for me by my then mother-in-law. She had gone to Italy to visit her family and asked me what I'd wanted, and I asked for a little black bag from Italy. So this is a beautiful leather bag, and it has it's like a patchwork quilt. So some squares are patent leather and some are smooth leather, but I used this to death, and that whole concept continues on the strap. The strap here is patent, has two knots, so to speak, on the side, or two bits that wrap around, and that's what the bag looks like that. Patent here, no, smooth leather there. This is not a very expensive leather bag. It's a relatively, I would say, inexpensive one, because the leather is starting to show wear. And when she initially brought this back many years ago, I used to use it to death, especially as my little evening bag, because, you know, back in the early 2000s, when shoulder bags were still in, I used to use it as a little evening bag like that, and it was great. And I haven't gotten rid of it because it reminds me of my then mother-in-law, and I want to keep it for that reason. And it's really sweet. On the zipper pull here we have this little turtle, and the brand of this bag is Carpisa, and that's that one. So that is, to me, unusual, because not the design but the finish on it. It's a mixture of patent and smooth leather. Really sweet bag. I like it. My next two unusual bags are both vintage bags. One belonged to my grandmother and one belonged to my mother, or I think both to my grandmother. But anyway, there you go. They are my two most unusual bags, I would say. This one is a very gorgeous bag, very vintage. It's got all this old-fashioned beading all over it there like that. It's got this beautiful gold, very firm handle, and then it's got all this gorgeous mother of pearl all along here like that. It's got the French kiss lock, which you open up, and when you open the bag, it's all satin lining inside there. And the brand is handmade in Hong Kong, so I don't know what the brand is. There you go. But it's handmade in Hong Kong, and it is a truly gorgeous bag. And I think I've used this once or twice, but given that it's quite old, the closure is not very secure. But the detail on this bag is just stunning. It's just gorgeous. It truly is a beautiful bag, and it's very soft like this, and you know, some of the stitchings come undone. So because I'm trying to preserve it and look after it, I tend not to use it. But you'd have to find a really good cobbler to take it to try and restore it and bring it back to life. There's one section here at the back where it's come undone. Some of the beadings are lost, but it's a beautiful bag. Black and gold. Wow, look at that. That's an evening bag. The other one is very similar, and the other one looks like this. This one has very tight little beads that have been sewn into the fabric there, as you can see, in the shape of a pattern. The handle is also these tiny little caviar type beads. The front has this 2 panels of crystals, and the way to open this is just pushing it open like that. And inside again is all black satin with one little pocket here, and this little label says made in Japan. Now I don't know if it's necessarily handmade, but anyway, it's a beautiful little bag, and that's that one. So those two that I've just shown you here are definitely my most unusual in my opinion, and certainly I think my most vintage too. Gorgeous bags. I have used this a couple of times for evenings, but I'm very careful with it. And my last handbag to share with you, which I think is in itself and in its structure and shape is not unusual, but what I've done to it makes it stand out a little bit, to make it a little bit unusual. I think either that or it's a stretch, but that is this fabric Zara tote. This was when Zara was starting to release a lot of those book tote inspired tote bags, and I liked it because I liked the simplicity of the style, because when I bought it, it just was like that, plain. It has a strap, of course. It's got the 2 handles, not leather, of course. Beautiful sort of canvas or drill cotton or twill, I don't know the difference, fabric, and it's nice structured bag, and it's quite roomy inside there like that. It's got pockets and so on. I really like this bag. I can't lie. I actually quite like this bag, and I'm not much of a tote person, but I wanted to zhuzh it up a little bit, and my way of doing that was to purchase a collection of vintage brooches. And I know they're vintage because they're very old. I went to one of the local op shops around here, and I bought a whole lot of these very vintage, very old looking brooches, and that's what I did. I put them on the bag. I obviously pinned them to the bag, and I think that makes this bag quite unusual. And I mean, having pins on a bag is not necessarily unusual because Chanel does it and others have done it too, but I just love the idea of doing something like this on a very blank canvas, no pun intended, because I think this is probably canvas, and then positioning them anywhere to give the bag a very curated or customized look. So that's a great tip for you if you have a bag like this that you want to do. So probably my least unusual but sort of unusual bag. So Chris, thank you so much for tagging me to do this video. Thank you, Flo, for coming up with this bag tag idea. I think it's a great idea, and I will tag some lovely ladies down below. So I look forward to reading your comments, everybody. Take care, God bless, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.